Now in this video, I'm going to start with showing how to use Movavi plugins to clean up an audio source. So after you record your webcam audio or whatever USB microphone you're using in OBS, you put it in Movavi. Movavi does have some plugins. I'm going to show how to try to get it cleaned up. It's very hard to get a bad audio source cleaned up. You can get it to at least where it's listenable and workable. And then I take the audio that was suppressed in OBS and bring it in Movavi and use Movavi plugins. And I think the results was a lot better. From there, then I just do the basic of OBS, showing you different aspects of it. You don't have to know a whole lot about OBS to use it for your YouTube channel. I did record this part earlier, but this display part was like off. So I think it was like that. And I'm just going, and I thought I had it all right. I mean, it was done good. I just needed to go through, edit through it and stuff. And once it was like that, I had to go and redo it all over again. That is a drag. The other thing too is making sure that recording is on. Touch that top of Movavi so you see the blue streak up on top. Otherwise, when you go to hit play, OBS is going to stop. And so here I am. Once again, this is my second retry. There's going to be moments in which you're going to have to refilm things or scrap a large file, large section, and start all over again. Or you might need to insert. So it's just to let you know there are going to be trials along the way. You're just going to have to deal with it. Here's the audio file. What I want to do, hit that right there, like 3 lines. It's your clip properties. And I want to raise the volume up to maybe like 138. Cam to my voice. I might want a little bit more higher than that. It would come out like too airy or too tinny. We will probably have to lower it as I start working on things. Here's normalized. And then I'm usually sitting in front of my computer, and that just brings out too much of that hiss that's in it. Now, if I go to this bottom one here for tools, and then you got video and audio, you want to go to audio. Now, sound autocorrect never worked. It never made it sound good. It made it sound worse. You got audio effects. That's for adding audio effects to a file. Here's equalizer, and I just left it as flat. I mean, you got voice enhancement to my voice. It would come out like too airy or too tinny. And then I'm usually sitting in front of my computer, and my regular microphone is very near me, and I'll show that in a second. So I wasn't really sure. I'm not for sure about that. Noise removal, artificial intelligence did not work for me at all. It made it sound like my voice was underwater. Here's default. I found that the best is 10%. You have to apply it for you to hear it on the audio. The webcam to my voice, it would come out like too airy or too tinny. And then I'm usually sitting in front of my computer. My regular microphone is very near me, and I'll show that in a second. For this file, I would say just leave it flat in EQ, compressor. If I remember how I did this before, I did it like that, where I maxed out those set for the threshold, I think. Airy or too tinny. And then I'm usually sitting in front of my computer. Now there's a reverb in the room, and that's a problem. So you're limited in what you can and cannot do. Just go for good enough. Focus on your content. Now we could try the one where OBS was doing the noise suppression. That's the noise suppression. It should make the audio sound a lot better. Now this is the webcam audio with noise suppression from OBS on. The previous one was without any OBS noise suppression. And so let's turn the EQ from the webcam. We're going to go to, now I don't hear too much of a difference with the EQ, cancel. But I have the low end all the way down. And I got to go here. And then noise removal, I'm at 7%. And then I got to turn it on in OBS. Now, if we go up, say high, like 42%. So now you can see, and you got to make sure it says analyzer in. Let me try to bring the audio. So that can work where you do your audio and you have noise suppression on, and then you can bring in Movavi. It's not going to be perfect, but that's not bad there. If I had to take the audio, I'd take the second part. It's just a matter of what your sound is like coming from your audio, but just get it to where it sounds good and just get it out there. And then you just keep working at it. Every time you do a video, you know you're going to get better and better and better at it, and you will. It's like riding a bicycle. You're not going to learn how to ride a bicycle if you're just staring at it. You have to ride it, and there's a lot of pain along the way in learning how to ride it. Okay, this is OBS that I use for recording my screen and recording Reaper, and this is version 26.0.2. Now, the newer versions may or may not work with Windows 7, so I stick with 26. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Down here below, you should be able to see my audio of my microphone right there. And then the desktop will come up here on the top. So it's up to you on what you want to use as a capture software. The only time I've had it buggy is putting on a VST on this microphone of the AKG. This is what I have set up in TDR Nova. Now this is the paid version, but the free version works just the same, except you only got 4 bands instead of 6. And I did a line input of the microphone at the same time I'm on OBS, trying to adjust the voice. And of course there was feedback and like a double voice, and it wasn't easy to do. Plus I did some reading on the AKG on its frequency responses. If I come down here to this little setting wheels and I hit, and this is what I have set up for my microphone. Noise suppression comes from OBS, invert polarity. I was reading online and stuff, and I don't know why I choose it, but I did some research and stuff to set this up, and it's been set up for quite a while now. I got a limiter at the end. It's 50 millisecond release and 0 dB threshold. Nothing too fancy. So you can see where it has TDR Nova. If you open this up, you'll see all the VST plugins that you have on your system. If you're into music production, all your VSTs are going to be in your VST plugins folder. OBS will read that. I can click on here to open the interface. Let's see if I right click it there. Let's try filters. If you're going to do music in a digital audio workstation, you're going to have to find a way to hook OBS to it. With Reaper, I use Restream, and it's kind of weird. There's ACO drivers that you use. Now, I used ACO Link Pro for a while, and it worked for maybe 3 to 5 months, and the audio started sounding really horrible. The video fine was with OBS, and so I researched some more and used Restream to connect OBS with Reaper, but I have to use FL Studio ACO driver. I own FL Studio, so I have version 12 and I have version 20, the latest, on my computer, and it just seems to work with OBS. If I try the ACO driver with my Mackie FX audio board or with my Sapphire USB device, it will not work. When I set in Reaper under preferences for device and put FL Studio in there, it works. So if you hook up a USB microphone down below, you're going to see here in your audio little icon there. Make sure you go to playback devices, and in recording it should show that microphone. I also want to show how you can add in the USB microphone or your display or a webcam, and it's in this place where it says sources, and down here you got the plus. Hit the plus and you can add in your audio input, audio output. I didn't go thoroughly through this like I should have. For audio input, you come up here, it'll say capture 3. It's because I already got a capture 1 and 2 slot, and then you hit OK. It brings this up, it says default. But here, if you press on that, just that little area up there, you get default, you get your line. Your USB microphone should show up here for audio. If it doesn't, exit out of OBS, unplug it, plug it back in, and try again. Because Windows should read it. If it's not showing up, it's a faulty USB microphone, and you're going to have to consider getting another one. If you buy it new, make sure you keep your receipt and return it, because there's no reason for Windows not to recognize a USB microphone. It's pretty much a basic device, and Windows has basic Windows drivers for those things. Now, if you want to remove a device, you left click it and highlight it, right click and go to remove. It'll ask you, do you want to remove it? You say yes, and my audio is back to normal. And if you want to add in your display capture, it's right there. Video capture device is your webcam, same procedure. If your webcam is not working with Windows, there's something wrong with it. Logitech doesn't even put out drivers anymore. I don't know how long it's been. So they let Windows take care of it because Windows comes with their own webcam drivers on the operating system. So I just wanted to show the base of OBS. Now I don't know how well it's going to work on a laptop. You're just going to have to give it a try. If it doesn't work, I know Movavi has a screen recorder. You got your different windows, and that's your different sizes. If you move the display window, you do got a black background, and it kind of like it sets itself once you're in the right place. You know, like if I move it and I move it there, it just kind of like sets where it's supposed to be. Click on the clear thing. There's me. Anything that you click with a red border is what you're playing with. But you might accidentally like want to resize yourself and then you go too far, and next you know you're upside down, which I think would look pretty cool for, you know, a tutorial, you know. This here, and then you swing yourself around. So just something to be aware of. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now I can see my border. I like to be on the bottom right. No, see, that's still the same thing. You're still gonna, oh, there we go. And so you can change your position just like that. You just, now on the other one, I did the corner. That's why I came up upside down, but now I'm facing a different way. So that's one way to do it. You don't even have to change your position. You just change this little thing here and you're now on the other side of the screen. Okay, one more thing we got to go through with OBS is the settings here. And we got general. I haven't touched a lot of this stuff. It's pretty much just the way that it came with OBS, except maybe I uncheck the automatically check for updates and startup, since I don't plan on updating it because I'm on Windows 7. Here's stream. I remember I just decided to go with the YouTube gaming. I don't know if I really had to set anything. I don't know if there's a default. No, it's custom. So maybe I did have to choose something, so I just choose YouTube. On the output, here's your streaming, but that's only if you're going to do streaming. You can also on streaming do Twitch, Facebook Live, Twitter. I'm sure there's a way to do Instagram as well. So we're back to output. Recording, you have to have a recording path, so you need that. For audio track, I just have 1 and 2. Encoder is X264. And the rescale output is 1920 to 1080, and we'll come to that in just a second. Here's the rate control, CBR 8000 kbps. I don't remember playing too much with this. I think this was pretty much all set up that way. Audio, I did put track 1 at 320. Here's audio here, 48K stereo. If you see it grayed out, it's because I'm recording. When you're not recording, it'll all be white and you'll be able to change things. This is pretty much, I don't really mess too much on this. I just left it the way it is. Hotkeys, I don't have any hotkeys set up. The video is set for 1920 by 1080. My monitor is 2560 by 1440, so it shrinks it down to that, and it's 30 for the frame per second value. I got disabled arrow, but I don't have arrow on this. And I think that's pretty much it. And on advance, priority is above normal. Render is direct 3D 11. I can't change that. So that's something that OBS has. Color format and V12, color space 709. What else? It's just the recording path right here on the output and recording tab. Make sure you have an output. That's where all your videos are going to go. They'll all be dated by dates and names. And you see here, I'm recording this one right now that's 0. I had 2 false starts. Said stop, redo. But this is how it goes by the date. And you just also look at the time too, so that'll help you remember, you know, what did I record? Because you're going to do a lot of video takes and just go, no, this isn't working. Or you might just use a small portion and go with something else. Also, as you're recording stuff and say something doesn't work out, you start over and stuff, you want to have a backup folder. Movavi is where all my stuff is saved when I export it out of Movavi. And you see here all the different things. There's been a lot of revision of this has gone long, and you're going to have revision. You're going to come back and you're going to have discouragement. Don't let discouragement get to you. Get the video out. Don't take no from yourself for an answer. It's easy to get discouraged and go, this isn't working out and stuff. You just got to keep going. But say I have backup YT2023, which is YouTube in 2023, and it has a lot of files. Save your stuff. Just put it in a backup folder because there might be something on one of those videos that you just need a portion of, and it will save you from having to redo it. Then once you have the final video done, delete all of it so you save space in your hard drive. In the next video, I'm going to show you about editing in Movavi, certain things to be aware of when using it, if that's your choice for a video editor, and then going into Reaper and removing silent spots from your video so your video is more streamlined. And then time codes. Reaper has a way of bringing up time codes. If you want to put time codes in your description, Reaper can do that. So I'll see you in the next video.